Okay. So, as we talked about, this chapter is called How to Build a Universe That Doesn't Fall Apart. Um, it's mainly about like creating that fictional space that people can escape to, like a theme park, and um, how how nowadays, creators are battling authenticity crisis. And do you guys have anything else to add on, or should we move on to the question?
I think we'll move on to
Um, I
unless you
think they
have
also talked about how people will kind of use inauthentic like personas and ideas and their interpretations of reality to kind of propel these identities of themselves that are greater than they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to put it simply, people will lie to themselves to make life seem cooler.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they talked about lies a couple times in this chapter, but they also talked about like, just having that everybody thinks that way. So that's what kind of like skyrockets like the popularity of stuff like video games and theme parks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I have a
exactly.
question.
What's up?
I know that I'm supposed to hold my questions to the end, but what Micah just said, like, brought up this question. Do you think it's better to like lie to yourself about reality or to lie to other people about reality? Like, let's say, like, in terms of maybe like a brand or something, like, do you think it's more harmful for like a brand to be lying to itself about like how it's doing, like its place in the market and all that stuff, or to lie to its audience?
I have an answer really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So Micah, of course, since this is based off of Micah may have like more concrete answer, but I think that if you lie to yourself, you're like an escapist, and I think that if you lie to other people, you're just like a salesperson. You're just
Yeah.
like a business. And I think like which one's worse? I would probably have to say lying to yourself, because I feel like there's a certain point where you can't break past reality in fiction, maybe. While like, lying to other people, it's not ethical, but like, I think that's what drives business. Or I think that's like the foundation of like marketing or whatever. But personal opinion.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
you,
for
Mike?
sure. Jackie, you really hit the nail on the head. I mean, I'd say there's like a certain threshold in which the definition of what a lie is blurred. And so when you're within this certain space, it's like you cross a line where it's just blatant lying, but there's an amount of space before that that isn't technically lying, but you're still not entirely telling the truth. And I feel like that space is what's not necessarily harmful in most cases. That's what we build sales off of. We can't tell you we're the leading phone company in the world, but we can tell you we have the best service if that's technically true. Um, and so it's just staying within that space. But lying to yourself, like you said, it's just escapism. And at a certain point, it can be harmful for you. People lie to themselves all the time. That's why we do drugs and whatnot, so we
Yeah,
can pretend we're somewhere else.
that's a good wrap up. That's a really good wrap up, because I think it is true. And Kayla, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's worse to lie to yourself, just because that is like basically like if you're lying to yourself, then you're in terms gonna be able to like lie to other people, because like obviously what your belief is, like, that's gonna be false. So any information you give out to other people is also gonna be false.
Mm.
So I think it like one leads to the other, and it's all kind of both bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't condone lying to others, of course, but um and like the ethical implications of that. But yeah, I agree. Lying to both has like its issues. So that's a really good question to start off with. And I guess we can move on to the chapter question.
Mm.
Um, so the chapter question is: with so many people on the internet and our virtual capabilities expanding nowadays, we now have terms such as fake news, trolls, and virtual beings. What or who do you trust online or in the online realm? Is it a celebrity, a brand, or someone you know in real life, and why? In addition, why is your criteria of considering something fake?
My entire concept of trust on the internet is based on it's all inside of Reddit, right? You post something and it may or may not be true, but if you're lying and it's not satirical, people will downvote you, and nobody wants to get downvoted. You want that Reddit clout. So it's really just people checking on each other. That's
Mhm.
why I trust what people are saying on Reddit. There are these
So like,
thousands of people saying, "Hey, that's BS."
yeah, yeah. So like forums where you can like upvote, downvote,
Yeah,
you find have more credibility, I guess. Like people check each other. I agree with that.
exactly. There's no downvoting on Instagram. That's why the comments are so negative.
Yeah, Instagram gets a little too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, Personally, I don't trust like anything, and this isn't
Oh.
like for stuff where I'm like searching up computer stuff, like how to embed something like that stuff. Like I
Mhm.
can find online, and I trust people's insights there. But like I guess in the question it talks about like fake news. I guess I don't trust like any news really. Twitter stresses me out because like fake news spreads so fast. I think we talked about this, and like I don't trust what brands do because I think they're doing it purely for their own reputation, which isn't bad.
Mhm.
Some brands stand by what they put out, but it is at the end of the day just like a way to say, hey, we're involved with this charity because you know um it's credible, I guess, to like, well, credible established news sources. I guess I have like some truth in there because I think like it's up to you to do your research, and I
Mhm.
guess just people you trust. Like with this election, I was like, okay, Kayla clearly does like knows her stuff, so I was like, okay, I trust what Kayla is saying. And
Mhm.
like yeah, I think it's just I think, and the last thing I said was that like we're in an industry that's like it's good to stay aware. It won't kill you to have your own mind, but like it's good to just stay aware and know that like authenticity is a crisis, like we talked about. So it's just good to be aware, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think how I think that's how they get us. Like brands like to pretend to be people. They like to appeal to human emotions and attack our empathy, but in reality brands are machines. Companies are machines. They don't have emotions. They only exist to grow and reproduce.
Mhm.
Um, just like a bug or something.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
The
that's not
people
necessarily. Oh, go on.
Not just the people within the brand might. I mean, they're people, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a machine.
Yeah, and I don't think that's necessarily bad because it does provide that experience for people. Like it changes people's lives. Some brands change people's lives, but like, yeah, I think, like you said, when it comes down to it, it's still just like a machine or like a concept of like business.
Hmm.
Yeah. I feel like I'm always like tracking and keeping like a mental note of like if some brand was like obviously being fake for something. Like I just think that there's so many brands out there that like once somebody is like misleading and it's like very
Mhm.
prominent and like very
Yeah.
exposed and everything, like I probably will never ever believe them ever again, like on any of their claims, and I'll just like move on to another brand. And so like I very much like base I guess my trust in brands based off of their track record and like how their information consists with like other information and just stuff like that. But more times than not, I'll always like believe somebody that I know in my real life
Mhm.
besides just like some random like news site or something, just because like I feel like since I know that person in real life, I know their character. I like know if they're likely to like not be reliable or if they are. And like I
Mhm.
trust that they've done their own research.
Mhm.
And then there's some people where like I know good and well they just saw that on Facebook and then they didn't look into it at all. And then it just like goes past my head. Um, and
Yeah,
so that's like how I base my trust in like
yeah,
all the
no,
information I
I,
get.
I love that you say that track record, because tying it back to that authenticity crisis, that's what it is. You know, like people nowadays can call brands on their BS, you
Mhm.
know, and like you said, like you just know. Like it's like me sometimes, like I see a brand and I'm like, I just know, you know, I'm like, y'all don't actually care. Like the minute, like we were talking about, the minute the month changes, like y'all are turning it
Yeah.
back right away. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
I feel like that's also a problem we're having though, because people like to like keep tabs on a company and say, "Well, you've done bad things, you've been inauthentic in the past. Why should I trust you now?"
Mhm.
But we have a hard time keeping up with the past and the history of these companies. You know, like McDonald's could have, the CEO of McDonald's could have been a mass serial killer in '95, and we would all still be eating Big Macs today. Like
Mhm.
everything goes out of our heads within the next couple weeks.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, like Supersize Me, that
That's
like
true.
rose hell in the 90s.
I
What was
hate
that? Wait, now I need to know.
I
I don't
hate
know.
that.
Okay, so Supersize Me, okay, and forgive me, I don't know if it's the 90s or early 2000s, but it's basically this documentary of this guy, and he ate McDonald's every day for like how long, Kayla? Like a couple months.
Yeah, like a very long time.
Every day.
Too
Gosh.
long.
And I think he had a quarter pounder every day, and he had like a different side every day. And like he got really fat, and he just got like really like unhealthy. Like he got all these diseases, and then like everybody was like projecting McDonald's to close by like 2008, because they
Mhm.
were like, we need to shut down McDonald's. And then, but there was that whole argument where like, you know, it's like nobody will actually eat McDonald's every day, and if they do, then that's their problem.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, that's I kind of see, I like I see what you mean, like all with time, I
Mhm.
guess, and especially if the brand is big,
Yeah.
Mhm.
harder to forget.
Chick-fil-A. We said
Yeah,
this yesterday.
Chick-fil-A.
I
Yeah,
had Chick-fil-A yesterday.
you did.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
gonna be
my
honest. I had it
gosh.
before our talk though. I had it before our talk.
I was so
Okay.
close to getting Chick-fil-A, and then I was like, I was honestly, I'm lazy, so I didn't want to go get it, but like
Yeah.
one of these days, yeah, Chick-fil-A or like what else? I don't know. Other things are problematic,
Yeah.
That's it.
but
Another
yeah,
problem. Everything's problematic. Like we're always finding something wrong with the company. If we boycotted everything, we wouldn't be eating much.
That's
that's
true.
true.
Besides like lettuce and grass. That's all we'd ever eat. We'd all be a bunch of
Then we
cows.
could be Chick-fil-A models.
There's cows,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
like even yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's very interesting. I think we went on a like a really interesting route on it.
hmm
Oh yeah, what's the question?
I don't even remember.
Answered it. Yeah.
No, we answered it.
What's your criteria on like determining if something's fake or
Oh
not?
yeah, fake news. Fake news.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
On to questions.
Yeah, what's my question? I have one since Kayla posed a good one earlier. Um, and honestly, this one we kind of just talked about it. But I said, what do you see as authentic? But we kind of just talked about it. But like, I'm curious what you guys. So we talked about like how we can call out certain brands, but like, what is it when you see something and you're like, that's. Mhm, I don't know about that.
I feel like when we speak to people, our our like vocal audible language is almost unnecessary. It's just something we use to initiate the conversation and to let the other person identify what we're having as a conversation. But there's like a deeper language that we don't deliberately know how to speak or talk about that we use to communicate with other people. So like I'm speaking words to you right now and I can tell what you're thinking even though you're not saying it, right?
hmm
I see you. Yeah. And so that's like authenticity to me. If I look at you and I don't and if the only way I can communicate with you is by words, if I don't feel um, that deeper language, if I don't feel it coming back from you, if I don't get any response when I'm speaking to you, through that language, then you're fake.
I think response is a big thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think whether or not you give a response and what your response is, I think is a big thing.
And does that change? Like if it's like online,
Oh,
would that now be like the speed of the response and like that type of
oh
thing?
yeah.
Yeah. We
Kayla,
all know what it means when you say K.
Yeah.
yeah,
K
period.
dot. Oh my
With
god.
the period
With the period at the end and the whole relationship. There's no more speaking.
I know, the end of conversation right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Micah, I love that. I love that point. And I think so one example of that is you guys know the Stan Richards thing that went on. I know Kayla
the
knows.
what?
Kayla's in advertising research with me, but
Yeah, man.
do you know about it, Micah?
The what?
So Stan Richards, right? The name, the guy who the advertising school is named after.
Hmm.
He has like his agency is called the Richards Group,
Hmm.
and the Richards Group met up with one of their clients, which is Motel 6, and
Their
Stan Richards.
biggest client. Let me tell you, okay, let me tell you why this is such a big deal. It is Motel 6, like back when they started, they were like going to go bankrupt like immediately. Like nobody even wanted to say their name because it was like such a shame if you couldn't afford like actual hotels and like you had to stay at a Motel 6. Like, and I'm talking like way before there were like commercials for it and stuff, like when it just opened. And Stan Richards, like his firm, they started doing like advertising, rebranding, and all that stuff. And basically, they made like Motel 6 what it is now, and they just like completely skyrocketed that whole like franchise. And so it's like their biggest client. It's like one of the ones that they're most known for.
Hmm.
And so this is like a big thing. So Jackie, kick it off. You got
Okay,
it.
so
Back to you.
Stan was there at like a client meeting. So thank you, Kayla. I didn't know that. Or I knew what they did for Motel 6, but I definitely didn't know that that's where they got all their rep from.
Yeah.
But that makes a lot more sense. So
Mhm.
it makes the oncoming like what happened even worse.
Orders.
But basically he was at a client meeting and he said that their campaign or whatever it is they were working on was too black.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Wait. It gets worse.
And
And that it wouldn't appeal to their white supremacist audience.
yeah, their white supremacist constituents that they because it was too black. And I was like,
Stan Richards.
I know, I was like the man himself.
The man himself. And we are the Stan Richards School of Advertising and PR.
Gotta throw the whole school away.
He's one of the biggest advertising like people like in the nation. Like he is a legend. He is a complete legend. He's the one who did advertising for Chick-fil-A, the cows, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
And like all these things. And
it's rough, but did you know, Kayla? So this is what I was talking about. This is what I was alluding to earlier with the brands and stuff.
Mhm.
But like the Richards Group got like out. Oh, so Motel 6 like cut. They were like, we don't want you anymore.
They dropped.
Yeah, they dropped them. And so did Home Depot. So this is where I was going to come in and say, did you know that all of their clients are actually like have like a really bad background? So Home Depot apparently has been like racist. They did Cracker Barrel, and Cracker Barrel has known to be like like there were some segregation going on in like the 90s.
Wait, that's not where the name came from, is it?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. And then I don't know, just a couple other clients that the Richards Group works with. They were like, yeah, the Richards Group, you know, so
a lot of their clients dropped them immediately, like that day, dropped them.
Like as soon as that article came out, everyone was like, we are no longer doing business with the Richards.
Yeah.
Stan Richards. So yeah.
And wait, hold on 1 second.
No, go ahead.
Bringing props, getting in costume.
And look at this shirt.
Oh no.
Can you please tell me where you got that from?
This is the man.
No.
This was like my favorite shirt to wear.
Okay, two things. Where did you get that shirt?
I got it because Stan Richards, the man himself, came and spoke at one of my classes. And
is it 318?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And so they were handing out all these shirts.
What? Okay, I
Kayla, you
didn't
know what you have to do now?
I have to like burn it.
This is gonna be
literally.
your TikTok. You put it on a stick, set it on fire, and wave that sucker.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Join immersive. Yay.
Yes.
Oh my
God.
god. There we go. Yeah, no, there's that.
And in Sharpie, write "do not" in between "we stand."
Yeah.
We do not stand.
Oh my
I'll
god.
edit it, put it in slow motion. There'll be some dramatic music. Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Martha can be your
this is
editor.
going viral.
Oh my god.
Okay, the
I
funniest
don't want to associate myself with that. Ugh.
Kayla doesn't want to take a stand.
Okay, listen. Have you seen my
she's
never?
ready. No, she's ready.
But
I was gonna say that like I thought okay, so usually they're named I can never say this word posthumously, like they named stuff after people die, right? So
Mhm.
like when Stan came into my class, I was like I was like, I was like, oh, he's not dead. And then number one, number two, like, it is kind of a risk to name something after someone who's like not passed away, because I feel like,
They could still ruin it.
yeah, like it's not set in stone,
That's why I don't get tattoos of living artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what if Eminem came out and like murdered some children tomorrow? I already have 3 Stan tattoos on me.
Yeah.
Very possible. But yeah, that's something that I think like UT and a lot of other universities and everything, but UT specifically has like a really big problem with is like too strongly associating their brand with like a single individual.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
if Matthew
absolutely.
McConaughey fucks up somewhere, we're all done. Like
Yeah.
we're all done. There goes our whole
That's a
everything.
double hit.
Like
Austin.
And Matthew.
yeah, man. Like it's
He's off the map.
it's just too dangerous to like tie your brand with a single individual because they're still humans. They're still going to mess up. And like if you're a big university, like I don't think it's a smart decision at all.
That's what I thought. And so like when Stan walked in and he's like old and he's like and I was like
and he was
right,
like
Stan.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he needed help to get on the stage. Like
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like,
that I think that's like a funding thing too though. Like UT gets a lot of its money from the people it's naming these buildings after. And so a lot of the people do it just so they can have their names on the building.
Yeah, that's why we still have a bunch of racist ass building names.
I know.
Yeah.
God.
And why there was nothing wrong with the SAC. What is it called now?
Okay, there was something wrong with the SAC.
So what was it?
What was wrong with the SAC?
It was called the new UT Student Activity Center.
Oh, the nutsack.
Yeah, it was called the nutsack. So like everyone was like,
I have no problem with that.
I remember hearing that. Yeah,
they were like, I think it picked up some speed on, I don't know if it was Twitter or something, and UT was like, okay, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, because like, when you had to abbreviate it on maps and stuff, it just said nutsack.
Yeah. And then they were like, okay, let's change it real fast.
They're like, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
Let's see who our donators are and let's pick a name.
Yeah.
This has made the whole book worth it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, well.
Oh, and Mike is done.
I know.
Good night, guys.
It's perfect transition. Perfect transition. We can move on to the next brainstorm. I think we really hit those questions really hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So, brainstorm, current immersive experience, theme of the chapter, how it relates to the chapter.
So would we have to brainstorm an immersive experience about fake news or like authenticity or
anything having to do with like that authenticity? We did talk about escapism via like video games, reality, mixed reality, theme parks. So I have one. I hope you don't mind. I like always kind of say, oh, you don't mind, but like I have one just to start us off. Okay, cool. I have one just to start us off. So like in case y'all have more ideas, but like, so in verbatim from the book, it says a fictional universe is something that remains fictional. Like it doesn't change. It's not real. It's a pretend space, an escape, and its lure allure, Lure, balanced by fear and something surreal. Oh, surreal. Oh my goodness gracious, surreal. So like it's fear because you're like, holy shit, this is so like real. Like I feel like I'm actually there. And it lures you in, and then like it feels surreal, and like it's just that whole escape, right? So I said, and this may be not a surprise to any of you, but 2019 Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Mhm.
I said it's not just a theme park. It completely immerses you like you're there. Spatial design, everything. And I think it's worth bringing up, especially with the topics in this chapter, because we are currently finding more ways to make fictional universes real. So that can also be like the example of the Star Wars world, where you can literally go into the world and like on the street, and buy wands, and you can use the wands to like bring things to life, like on the street. Yeah, I just think
That's awesome.
that's a great example.
Harry Potter world.
Yeah, thank you, Harry Potter world. That was like the Harry Potter part.
Yeah, Harry Potter world.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna ask if you guys were Star Wars or Harry Potter, but I think I just got my answer.
No, I'm not. I have only seen like one Harry Potter movie. I tried. Okay, so I hadn't seen any, but like I have friends like everyone does who are like crazy Harry Potter people.
Ooh.
And so they sat me down, but I was like already tired. And so when I got through the first movie, I fell asleep, and it was just not a good thing. It wasn't a good watching experience. So like I really, really, really want to watch like the movies like when I'm awake and
We need to have a
I've
movie
never
night.
watched any of them.
No, I've only seen the first one. Wait, no,
What
that's
about Star
I
Wars?
saw the first one and then part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
Wait,
What about
what?
Star Wars?
The first one and part 2?
Like
Like
yeah, like the final movies and then part 1 and part 2 of that. Yeah,
What about Star Wars?
haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, I've only seen like Harry Potter. Okay, so 1 and 2 used to be like on repeat in my house. But like 3 to 7, I've only ever watched, I think, one time through. And like honestly, I was never really a big Potterhead, but I do love Star Wars. I like love Star Wars, but I'm not like a diehard fan, but like I certainly love watching the movies like over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you, Micah?
Favorite movies, like just in
Oh wait,
general?
what was that, Kayla?
What's y'all's favorite movies, like in general? I know Micah's not a movie person.
It's actually Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Nice.
Well, Wreck-It Ralph is cute too, though.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one. The second one was
didn't
pretty
like
good,
the
but
second
it
one.
wasn't the same.
I
didn't
like
really like
the first
second
one.
Wait,
I didn't see
what?
the second one.
Wait,
Oh,
Kayla,
yeah.
what did you?
Oh, I said I haven't seen the second one.
Oh, okay. I think you glitched or I glitched. I don't know.
No, she glitched.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh, Jackie stole your Wi-Fi, Kayla.
I know.
Swapping
Dang.
Wi-Fi.
That's why she wanted to know where I lived so she
I
could
know.
take it.
Kayla, what floor are you on?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Mhm.
had somebody steal your cable?
No.
I think I have been the person to steal someone's cable.
Jackie.
No.
No.
It wasn't on purpose. It wasn't on purpose. So growing up, I thought we had cable.
Mhm.
So I haven't had cable since I was 8 years old, because they got cut off, and and I thought up until maybe this summer, I was like, oh yeah, well I didn't have like the TV watching experience that most kids have because like it got cut off when I was 8, and my mom was like, oh, that's because the last owner of the house, like he kept paying for it like all those years, and then like all of a sudden it stopped. I think he didn't know that it was a continuous
Dang.
thing.
Y'all were just watching somebody's
I think
cable.
we were the leech.
Oh my god.
But
Hey, he should have been paying attention.
I know.
Yeah.
Some people, some transactions just slip out of your mind sometimes, and I'm sure once we become adults, it becomes like 10 times harder. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, I think
Interesting.
my dad is still paying for my Six Flags membership from like middle school.
Exactly.
I want to go to Six Flags so freaking bad.
Oh no, I triggered
So
Kayla.
bad.
For the first time last year.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. I'm from San Antonio, and I went for the
Yeah.
first time last year.
Dang.
You came right in time.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
why? What happened?
I have well, just because
Well,
it's like
Rona
all
happened.
shut down.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
open.
no, you're right.
It's been open for a couple of months.
Has it really?
Why?
And it's disgusting as one may think with their logical mind. It's gross in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been open.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wait, how do you know it's
No.
disgusting?
Because I see photos of everybody I know in San Antonio walking around town, Six Flags.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, you know what? I'm gonna share with y'all a story, and I hope it's not like it's not personal, and I don't it's not like crazy, but like so I've been in Austin for I'm junior, right? And like I don't know, in high school, like I never really went out, or like when I went out, I was with friends. So like when I went to Six Flags last year, it was during October, so it was like
Fright Fest.
Oh, Fright Fest, yeah, Fright Fest. And like this guy, like when we were walking to our car, it was me and my friend Anita, who also goes to UT, and she was like, and this guy just like threw like hard slurs at us.
Oof.
I know. And let me tell
Ah.
you, I haven't heard those in a while. Because at UT, you know, it kind of feels like we're not the minority here, you know? So like, yeah. So
UT's
then
very diverse.
good old San Antonio. I was like,
yeah, dude,
Dang.
Six Flags at night is a scary place.
oh, it's scary.
Low-key.
And it was at night. It was at night.
A scary place.
No,
It
I was
really
like,
is.
I mean, if I were a creep, I'd hang out at Six Flags at night.
Yeah, because the way like Six Flags San Antonio is like the whole parking lot, it's like underneath like the big overpass.
it's in a valley.
Yeah, it's in like a valley. And it's
They're
just,
setting you up.
yeah.
I know. It feels like where like Mufasa died in like
Yeah.
it literally looks like that. My God, I'm not joking. It's like surrounded by a wall
Mhm.
of just
It's
stone.
just rock. Yeah, and stone. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's the first
Wait
time
a
I went
minute.
there. I was like, this is crazy.
Kayla, now you have to take Simba there.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Hmm.
Micah, if you ever go to San Antonio, that's the area though. Like the La Cantera, that's the area.
Hmm.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I've only been once. It was for like a field trip.
You go to Alamo?
Yeah. And we got
Nice.
in this weird bus that drove
damn.
into the river and swam across the river. It was crazy.
You
Interesting.
swam across the river?
No, the bus. The bus like turned into a boat when we drove into the river.
What?
Are you sure this wasn't like the Magic School Bus situation? We weren't watching like
No, like they gave us these little duck whistles and we got on the bus, drove around the corner, and then it just drove into the river and started swimming across and we came out.
I'm not comfortable with you describing it floating on the water as swimming. I'm imagining other things in my mind, especially when you say you have a duck thing on your mouth.
I'm not imagining anything. I can't even imagine what you're talking about right now.
I'll find it.
Okay,
I'll send
please
you guys
do.
a link.
As a native San Antonio,
Yeah, I've never seen that in my life.
yeah, that, and I've also probably only been to the Riverwalk like once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
San
how-
Antonio was lit.
Yeah, and remember the Alamo, right, folks?
Yay. Love the Alamo.
I kind of like. I don't know. I love San Antonio.
Yeah, me too. Like it's always weird because I tell people that I'm from San Antonio, but like I wasn't born in San Antonio. I've just lived there for a really long time. But I just feel like San Antonio is my home. I like it the most.
Where are you from?
The Valley. So
Oh,
like
that's right. That's right.
Of course.
Also, really quickly, Kayla, I really don't want to seem like like ballet dancers. They've been together for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
So also, Micah, what in the world?
Wait, the Boston Duck Tours. Yeah, I know this.
Is this in
And
San
this
Antonio?
was in San Antonio?
I don't know what they were doing in San Antonio, but I mean, I was there and there was a bus and it drove into the river.
Are you sure this was San Antonio?
It might have been a different company, like probably a smaller company.
No, it also might be in San Antonio, like a pop-up. I mean, who knows? But you're right.
This is what I was imagining. This is straight up what I was imagining when you were talking about it. I just couldn't. Well, not the swimming through the river, because no.
That
But
threw me off. I was like, I
yeah,
have
that
no
threw me
idea
off
what
a
you're talking
lot.
Swimming might not have been the best choice of words, but it felt good.
I would have swapped it out with like floating. You know?
about. Wait, so how do y'all know Boston Duck? Is it from like Boston?
Probably.
Yeah, so like at least that company, it's like in Boston, like a lot of their tours and stuff, they like go on the river and stuff. My brother went there, so he told me about it. He had the duck whistle.
The duck whistle,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
Our parents were so mad when we got home.
Yeah, they're so annoying. They're so loud.
I've never heard of this in my life.
Yeah, the duck tours.
Man,
Oh my gosh.
memories.
Crazy. Sorry,
What were we
I'm
talking about?
now.
I don't know. We were supposed to be talking about an immersive experience like Harry Potter World. I think we already finished. We gave 2.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think-
Unless y'all have anything else to add on, I think we're
I'm good to go.
yeah, I'm gonna cut. Let's cut. We should have done this so long ago.